डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर ओपन युनिव्हर्सिटी.
Dear students, welcome back at Chaitanya Studio, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University for our course that is Human Resource Management, BBA-302 regular. So as you all aware, we have entered into the final block. So today we are going to discuss Unit 3 of 4th block, Human Resource Auditing. So dear students, 2 units we have been through the analytical part. Let's move on to the same journey. So we are starting with block 4 unit 3 human resource auditing, BBA 302 human resource management BBA course. So this side Dr. Jignesh Trivedi, associate professor, Narayana Business School, and as you all aware, we have been through 2 similar concepts in the beginning of this block, that was human resource information system, wherein we learned that how different type of information can be gathered by utilizing various source, and then the particular concerned person putting up that information at one location, which could be utilized by different people working in different departments. Later on, we have been through with human resource accounting. So, in same line, today we have to discuss human resource auditing. Let's check the learning objective of today's session. So, the meaning, objectives, features, scope and what steps would be associated to perform human resource audit, and what would be the essential condition to make this audit effective. Now let me recall you, after HRIS we have been through human resource accounting. So it was a novel concept, though it's like 50 years old concept. 90s, 70s, the movement of human resource accounting has been started, and around 80s to 90s between it couldn't speed up that much, but again for last 20 odd years it has been speeded up. So through human resource accounting, organization always had a motive to verify that how much they have invested on human resource, that is the people working in an organization. कितना आपने invest किया by increasing their salary, by providing them some extraordinary as well as nominal benefits, by providing some excellent opportunities to develop their career, to improve themselves, and parallel we just would like to check that in front of the investment which has been made in favor of the people working in an organization, what sort of outcome they brought to the company, which means after they have put up such efforts, what was the efficiency level, whether it has increased on substantial basis or we found a minute change. If the change is not significant, it simply means the investment company has made on human resources, like the people, those who are working in an organization, is not worthy. Means you should not invest that much. You should not spend that much amount on your people. So that was human resource accounting. Now just adding to that, let's check upon human resource auditing. So when we say HR audit, again audit is all about compliances, things which has been told you and how you have validated and how you have verified in a perspective or in a standardized manner. Similar to there, here HR audit. So it starts with compliance. So in accounting, like the CMA or certified financial analyst, they check about different compliances to be applied in an organization, and if those compliances have been fulfilled properly, only then he is going to certify, and then the brand image of that company will be increased. So HR audit first starts with compliance, what all norms are to be mentioned, and if they are completely mentioned, so how they are to be followed. Then it's about system. Approach should be systematic. So by putting up the name system before any approach will not make it a systematic approach. There is a lot different level of attention to be required in order to convert any approach as a systematic one. Followed by various functions available in an organization. So for all different functions, different strategies to be applied upon, and there were certain parameters that a particular function to be run according to keep in mind those parameters only. Personal, when we talk about people, those who are working in an organization, certain personal needs need to be catered very minutely. Strategically, that is not short term but always long term, keep in mind that what could be the required changes that should be incorporated not today but after 3 years or after 5 years or maybe after 10 years. So that's about strategies, like what sort of approach you have made, that is strategic approach. And last but not the least, operational. How people are performing or how different tasks are being done at different departments or branches level in a particular organization. So in a nutshell, when we talk about HR audit, it means it could start from compliance. It can go through personal, functional or strategic, and it may end up to operational. So these are all 6 different type of aspects would be covered under the banner of human resources audit. Let's check what is the saying of the famous social scientist. So Jack Phillips has said, human resource auditing is defined as investigative, analytical and comparative process that attempts to reflect the effectiveness of human resources functions. How effective human resources are, how they have worked and how efficiently they have put up their efforts. सिर्फ काम करना ऐसी बात नहीं है, अच्छे तरीके से काम करना वो बात है यहाँ पे. So that has been just analyzed and based upon which they are going to make some inferences. David Campbell, what he said, that HRA is defined as an investigation. Please understand the significance of the word. It is not a study, it's an investigation into size, skill, structure and all other issues surrounding those currently employed by the organization and its future human resources needs. So what Mr. Campbell tried to convey, that HRA is an investigation where we just keep on checking about different size, different skill set and different structure that is being mentioned in and around the new people, that is newly recruited people, and similar stuff to be checked upon future manpower requirements. अभी आप जो लोग हायर कर रहे हो उनका तो हम चेक कर ही रहे, बट आने वाले फ्यूचर में आप जो लोगों को हायर करोगे तो उनका कंसिडरेशन में रखने का जो बोल रहा है, दैट इज व्हाट कैम्बल इज सेइंग. So these were two standard definitions given by the scholars for human resources audit. Now, what are the features of HR audit? So, human resource audit is an independent, objective and critical examination of various functions of HR. So, it is basically audit, a compliance check, है ना. तो वो हमेशा थोड़ा स्ट्रिक्ट रहता है. तो क्या है, इट्स एन इंडिपेंडेंट, मीन्स you cannot rely upon particular department or branch or a team. It's an independent one. It has very clear cut objective, that to validate, to cross verify. And critical examination. अब ऐसे ऊपर ऊपर से देख के चले जाओगे तो आप नहीं बोल सकते आई हैव डन HR ऑडिट, वो होगा ही नहीं. That's not possible. आप नहीं कर पाएंगे. So for that, what you have to do is, it should be independent, like not under any sort of prejudices. It should be purely objective. As I told you, objective should get associated with that, and it should be having a critical examination of various HR function. It gathers the data about people, process, structure and policies of the organization. Means when we talk about audit, in auditing, this type of data needs to be submitted. Whether it's about the people, those who are working in an organization, kind of processes you are following in your organization, what is your basic structure, and which type of different policies are to be followed in your organization compared to other standard organization. तो ये डेटा होना बहुत जरूरी है. It actually establish a benchmark for measuring the actual performance of HR department to identify the performance and efficiency gap. Check करते हैं through HR audit before actually the audit begins, that what was the core gap and where HR people have worked so hard in order to mitigate that gap. प्रॉब्लम था, बट उसको सॉल्व करने के लिए HR डिपार्टमेंट ने किस तरीके से काम किया, दैट इज व्हाट दे ऑल्सो ट्राई टू वेरीफाई. It detects if HR department on matters where it does not comply with the statutory provisions, corporate goals and HR policies. So HR department कोई ऐसी मैटर पे नहीं काम कर रहा है जहां पे स्टेट्यूटरी प्रोविजन, गोल्स या HR पॉलिसीज के साथ सीधा कनेक्शन जा रहा है, और वो कैसा, पॉजिटिव नहीं बट नेगेटिव जा रहा है. तो ऐसे केसेस में इट इज नॉट गुड एट ऑल that you keep on working on your own, but it is not in line with the statutory provisions or not in line with the corporate discussions or not in line of absolute HR policies which has been made. HRA is done by internal employees or external consultants with basic knowledge in law and auditing. दो चीजें बताइए. You feel that yes, you would like to become an auditor, HR auditor, not the normal one. That is fine, you can become one. What you should have, that first you should have a good controlling hand over internal employees, or else you can call someone from outside, but take a condition from him also that one should have excellent knowledge of law as well as auditing. If particular person who is coming down from outside as an expert and he or she doesn't possess these two, like law and auditing, then there is no meaning of particular audit to be carried by that particular individual. Now, what are the objectives of human resources audit? So it actually helps to identify the degree of efficiency in performance of HR department. In short, HR department कितने पानी में है वो यहाँ पता चल जाएगा. To implement HR policies and practices of the organization and assess the general environment in human resources department. So here people have to work hard in order to implement the policies which has been decided, and they'll make sure to access the general environment of human resource department. ये रहता है क्या है, कोऑर्डिनेशन नहीं है, कोई कोलैबोरेशन अप्रोच नहीं है, तो वहां पे क्या है, देयर वॉन्ट बी एनी सॉर्ट ऑफ डायलॉग्स. By applying this, there would be some sort of dialogue possible between two sides or various departments to process appropriate strategies and corrective action in case of performance and efficiency gaps. Now please understand, when things are going good in audit, nothing to be worried upon, but when things are not going proper, so what will happen, you have to apply appropriate strategies, and in some great extent negative reinforcement is required. So corrective action should be placed in that manner in order to mitigate whatever loss, probable loss could be occurred. Determine HR function are performed as per established practices and procedures of the organization. You cannot make or break someone's directly, means you have to follow via a proper channel. तो आप उस हिसाब से ही परफॉर्म करोगे which has been mentioned as per the guidelines of organization. You think that you have all idea and what's big deal in this, let me try, but उस चक्कर में क्या है, आपका पूरा काम बिगड़ गया, then you held responsible for that. To major HR departments record for compliance and statutory provisions regarding hiring, compensation and safety health along with dispute settlement. So HR audit will have all the departments. Let's say how you have hired people, which were the sources you try to verify, try to apply, how many rounds of interviews have been done, and then along with this, how many firing has also been happened, plus what new things have been part of that compensation structure, and what are the parameters which has been followed rigorously by both the employees as well as management in order to make sure that safety and health will not have any single constraint. So these are all considered to be objectives of human resources audit. To have improved control over and check all internal operations of the organization, we have to make sure that the way people are performing their task, operations should be verified on time. Determine HR areas and functions which need further research and development. So what we are going to do, we have to figure out that which are the areas wherein you can make further development, where you can figure out that what are the chances to apply something which is new, which has not been done by other people before. So research and development, just like जैसे training and development होता है, human resource के area में training और development के अलावा भी है, like when you can work together, then there is considered to be research and development, how much new thing could be possible, and validate the same so it can be utilized by your own firm. Recognize good work done by them and reward them in an appropriate manner. अच्छी बात आई है ना, जो सब वेट करते होते हैं. पनिशमेंट तो आपने बोला कि सर सब जगह पनिशमेंट मिलता है, बट कहीं ऐसा भी होता है ना जहां लोगों ने बढ़िया काम किया. So what you can do, you have to provide them kind of positive reinforcement. That's called reward management, appreciation later, monetary or non-monetary benefits that should be provided, because just in the same line, couple of statements before, there is a negative reinforcement where people are unable to control that particular standard of performance. But here the case is different. If people have outperformed all other people, in that case, what we are going to do, we have to consider that yes, truly you have accomplished the task and plus you are eligible for the reward. आपको उसका पैसा, आपको उसका रिटर्न मिल जाएगा जो काम आपने बहुत बढ़िया तरीके से किया है. Prepare the organization to address the legal action which may be initiated by employees in an effective manner. So क्या करना है? What are the legal issues? What are the things which is on law perspective not proper? So we have to work upon that part. We have to make sure again same thing is not going to happen. So for what sort of legal actions are required? The particular funda will be given and driven by one person, but support from other departmental and branches people are equally required. Now, how much is the scope of human resource audit? So, it goes up to job description and job specification statements. So, as you all aware, what it could be when we combine both JD and JS? It is job analysis. When you bifurcate job analysis, then it becomes JD and JS, job description and job specification. So, through human resource, we can gather such statements. Files and records which are related to any aspect of human resources. Compensation policies and practices like what was earlier which you are supposed to offer, from now year onwards what changes you have made, along with proper evidences to validate those changes. Training and development policies, practices and programs. If you are providing wonderful orientation exercise followed by certain level of training where workers would able to work or employee would able to perform, so there should be a proper compliance of that particular program which has been mentioned. So training and development policy, practices and programs all have been accomplished under the banner of human resource audit. सेपरेशन स्कीम्स एंड प्रैक्टिसेस. अब जैसे आप हायर करते हो, अच्छे तरीके से हायर करते हो, लोगों को अच्छा लगता है, पूरी दुनिया जानती है, बट मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल माइट नॉट हैव एन आइडिया that how people are to be separated in difficult situation. अब it's not something like normal layman fight to be held on road. आप बोलो तुम जाओ यहाँ से, वो बोले आप जाओ वहाँ से, नहीं. You cannot ask your employees, those who are there for few years even working, that get out. From tomorrow you don't need to come. No, you cannot say like this. There should be a severance package. There should be some proper way how you can make this successful separation without much hurt from both the ends. Records relating to legal reporting and compliance. So, whenever you have done something on legal part, so how to be reported and under which norms it has been reported. records related to promotions and transfers over a period of time. अब आपका कंपनी अभी शुरू हुआ है, 1 साल हुआ है, तो possibly you won't have such records, but your company is like ONGC, Reliance, Tata's, like generations have worked in the same organization, so you have at least for last 3 to 5 years promotion details, transfer details, along with the list of selected candidates for increment, the list of rejected candidates. So you should have all those data available on real time. Grievance solution and disciplinary action procedure. Now, grievance solution is nothing but a kind of complaints made by different parties working together in the organization. So what happened? कंपनी में कुछ इंसिडेंट हुआ, आप उसका सॉल्यूशन भी लेके आए, फिर आपने उसको रख दिया कहीं साइड में. यू कैन नॉट डू दिस. यू शुड हैव इंटैक्ट दैट what was the cause, what was the outcome, how you intervene and how make particular thing online, that is in line with the requirement. So grievance resolution and disciplinary action procedures. If person found guilty, how much per amount of penalty would be fined? That is something grievance resolution and disciplinary action. Then policy and procedures relating to safety and health. Specifically, if you are working with workers in organization or mines at particular state levels where mines where workers are working, so in that case there should be safety and health parameters one should keep in mind. If you don't have such parameters and if anything wrong happened, then it is very difficult for owner to be answerable before press, before media, before government. Reports related to accidents, labor turnover, absenteeism and kind of leaves. अब आप सोचिए, ये सारी नॉर्मल चीजें नहीं है. एक्सीडेंट नॉट अ नॉर्मल वन. लेबर टर्नओवर, लोग छोड़ के चले जाते हैं. काफी सारे लोग चाहते हैं, उनको कोई लेता नहीं है, सो दे डोंट नीड टू गो. Then there would be absenteeism. Now absenteeism is high part, a negative part because of which people are unable to complete their allotted task. It affects negatively on team and very much negatively on entire organization. Industrial relations, a peace should be maintained. If such incidents are there, then you can keep that thing in mind and recorded as well. Now, what would be the steps associated with HR audit? Determine what are the objectives of HR audit, how we can develop a rough audit plan in order to process that. We have to gather background information which could be provided from different departments. Of course, every minute detail will not be available with HR. Determine the criteria and techniques how we can collect data. Finalize the audit plan and develop an audit report. And then there would be an action based upon such report. So it will be started from objectives and it landed up by offering a proper action how to be done on the basis of this report. So dear students, here we have seen HR auditing, one of the most important auditing from management perspective, where management will look after the compliances part with respect to people working in different areas of the organization. And if something is fishy, something is improper, how we can make it proper. So that's it from Block 4, Unit 3. We will see you in next session. Have a great day. Happy learning. Thank you so much.